Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. In today's video, I am doing my twist on a Halloween clown. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button so you can see more of my videos. It is my goal to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and I'm very close. I would greatly appreciate it. Anything that I use will be listed down in the description box below. If you'd like to see how I do this, then keep on watching. So I have already done my base off camera. I'm not going to do very much eye makeup. The idea for my clown is that my makeup is normal, but I have pieces of the clown kind of popping out in like more of a special effects kind of way. I'm not really for sure I'm going to pull it off. I'm going to try my best. I have ideas and I think I know how I'm going to do it. It's just more about applying it and actually physically doing it, and we'll see how it looks in the end. For the little bit of eye makeup that I am going to be doing, I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Edition palette, and I'm just going to be using the black Truffle shade. And I'm just going to smudge this on this left eye and just kind of blend it out in like a smoky eye kind of thing. I'm not going to really be too perfect at it, and you'll understand why once I get to the next part. I'm just going to keep blending it until it kind of looks like smoked out black. I'm going to use some highlighter to make like a little highlighted point on this look. I'm going to use the Nikki Tutorials highlighter trio, and I'm going to use the Glazed Donut shade, which is this middle shade, and I'm just going to brush that on with my finger. The idea is to make it look like I was wearing makeup. The next thing I'm going to do, I am going to do like kind of like a Harley Quinn kind of play on eyeshadow. So like normally what people do is they literally just take the eyeshadow and just drag it down their face. I might have to add more black just because I'm kind of wiping it off, but the idea is to make it look like my makeup's messed up. So I'm just going to add a little bit more black in there, smoke it out, really staying to this outer corner, and then I'm just going to take my fingers and mess it up again. I'm just going to keep adding layers until I feel like it looks the way I want it to. And I am going to kind of brush this underneath of my eye as well, just a little bit. I think that's what I'm wanting. That's literally all I'm doing for the eye makeup. I lied about all I'm doing for the eye makeup. I am going to line my waterline and put some mascara on. This is just because this is what I would normally do for any eye makeup. For eyeliner, I use the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade Black Bean, and then for mascara, which I put this on roughly, so like there is some like mascara underneath of my lashes. I'm fine with that because it makes it look more messy. The mascara that I used was the Benefit mascara. They're real. Now for the actual clown part, I'm going to be using the Mehron Paradise Makeup face paint. It is the one in just regular 8 colors. I'm just going to be using the white and the black. Maybe a little bit of red, but I'm not for sure yet. I'm starting to run out of the white because I use it so much. I'm going to be using just a flat Morphe brush, and I'm just going to start mapping out where I want this white to be at. And like I said, because I am doing like a partial clown look, I'm only going to put it in the places that I want the clown to be at. So I'm going to make like a little diamond shape. It's like a really big diamond. Not going to worry about how clean the lines are because I'm going to be using liquid latex to kind of do the cutting out part. So that's going to really cover up any mistakes in the lines. I just need to make sure the inside of the latex part's going to look right. Thought about blocking out my eyebrows, but I thought that would be kind of hard in like the little place that I'm working at, so I think it's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna kind of white them out. Don't really care that my eyebrows are showing. Do make sure that you give yourself enough room for that latex because any body hair that you have, so like your head hair or your eyebrows, it will grab it and pull it out. At least that's what a lot of people said. I haven't used it myself very much, so I haven't had any experience of having my hair ripped out, but just fair warning. Just be careful. I'm sure you can maybe wash it out. That's what I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to do. But just in case, I don't want you losing an eyebrow. To set this white, I'm going to use the Mehron setting powder. And I'm just going to use it with like just a regular sponge. I am going to do a mouth. I just don't know yet how I want to do it. So I'm going to start with the eye and then kind of move to the mouth after I get this kind of mapped out. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take the black and make the little triangles, which will start outlining kind of the clown look. And I'm just using a smaller Morphe flat brush. This is where it's going to start mattering how the lines are. I think I'm going to start out small and then work my way bigger. make the little dot on the tip of the little triangle, I'm going to use the back of a brush. Just kind of dot it on. I'm not going to do one on this outer side because it goes into like the normal makeup look. Going back in with that Huda Beauty palette, I'm going to go back into Black Truffle and kind of set this black with the black eyeshadow. And this will kind of fill in those gaps where the black is kind of creasing up and help it from creasing anymore. And I'm really packing this black in there, especially underneath of my eye. I crease really bad under my eye. Now I am kind of going on the outer side of that black to kind of shadow it out a little bit, but I'm only using a little bit. I kind of leave that one. Now I'm going to work on the mouth. To start my lips off, I'm going to use a black lipstick. This is the Jeffree Star Cosmetics lipstick in the shade Pure Hell. And I'm not really going to worry about being too clean with this because I'm going to overline my lip with the black face paint. I'm going to take the same brush that I used with the black up here for the black on my lip, and I'm just going to like hyper extend it into like a creepy smile. And then I'm just connecting it to where my lip starts to curve up. I'm going to do the same thing to the bottom. And I'm just going to fill it in. Now I'm just going to make it match on the other side. So there's the mouth, but I also realized right after doing the mouth that I completely forgot to do the white around it. So I don't really know if I want to leave it just like this because I think it looks creepy enough. Like really hard to look at my viewfinder because it looks freaky as hell. I don't know if I want to do the white around it. I feel like something about like the mouth on these kind of things that make it really, really creepy. I think I'm going to try to put the white in. I'm just going to go on the outside of the mouth and do my best to not mess it up. Not going to worry too much about having clean lines because the latex will cover it. I'm just wanting to make sure that the inside of the latex is white, where I want it to be white. I'm going to have to fix this part really quick. I'm going to set this with some of the Mehron setting powder. I'm going to try and stay away from the black just because I don't want to really turn it white. So I'm just going to powder the white face paint. I'm going back into that Huda Beauty palette again. I'm going to go into the Black Truffle and do the same thing that I did up here. Set the black and then kind of smoke out the edges. Kind of give it more of a dirty look. Okay, so this is kind of what the clown is going to look like. The next part I think is going to be the hardest part. Putting the latex on and making it look kind of cutting out of my skin is what I want it to do. I'm using liquid latex. I just got this from Walmart in the Halloween section. One thing about this latex is I'm not for sure if it'll go over the face paint, so I'm going to try to stick to my skin where the face paint meets my skin and just try to keep the latex right there. But I just put a little bit in this cup, that way I'm working with like a little bit at a time. And I'm just going to take, this is specifically a Morphe M421 brush, but really any like small brush that you can easily work with and work around with this will be good. And like I said, try to keep it away from your hair. And I'm just going to start going on the outside of this diamond shape that I made. I'm kind of putting the layer on kind of thick. I'm working kind of quickly just because I don't want this to dry before I can put the tissue on there. And I'm just using some like toilet paper and I'm just gonna like lay it on top of it. I might have to work in sections. Alright, I figured out that it's gonna be easier to work in strips. So I've ripped the toilet paper up into pieces instead of just like a giant piece. Okay, so you get the gist of what I'm doing. I'm gonna do the rest of it off camera, and I'm probably gonna do a couple different layers, and then I'll be back after this is kind of all finished. Okay, I'm back. I've put all the layers of latex and tissue on and cut the excess off to kind of make like an opening. Now what I'm doing is trying to conceal the tissue paper. I'm not really for sure how people do this because it's really obvious that it's like lifted up right here. A lot of people have put like concealer on it. Some people color corrected it. So I'm just doing some concealer, and then I'm going to try and do some red on there to kind of make it look like a sore. So maybe that'll kind of hide it, like the lifted part, and I'll kind of make it look like lifted skin because it's a sore. So I'm going to try that and see what happens. I am new to playing with latex and this kind of stuff, so I'm not surprised that I'm not really for sure what I'm doing. I'm just playing around, and this is really the only way I'm going to learn how to do it, so I'm just practicing. So far though, I think it looks pretty cool. I'm probably going to have to go back into the clown stuff and refix the face paint, just because like me going around like putting this latex on, I've kind of rubbed it off a little bit. So I will go back in and fix that, and I'll probably exaggerate this a bit more because I did put some concealer over top of it, so I will probably go back and do that as well. The concealer that I used was the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Light Ivory. For the red, I'm going to go into the Morphe and James Charles palette. The shade that I'm using is called You're Kidding. I'm going to go in roughly with a 518 brush and just kind of go over top of that tissue paper and latex. This might take a couple layers because I am starting off slowly. I don't want to cover too much, so I want to be careful with how much I'm putting on. Now with a smaller brush, I'm going to actually start going into the cracks that I've made and kind of lift this up a little bit, and then I'm going to start putting red in there as well. The brush I'm using is a 213 brush, and I'm going to make this red a bit darker than what I put over top of the latex. When it comes to doing this part, I'm not really too clean on how I do it, just because it's supposed to be messy. It's supposed to be like ripped skin. It's not supposed to be perfect, so I don't really worry too much about it being just right. Using the 213 brush again, I'm going to go into the shade Spooky. This is the darkest shade in this palette, and this one I'm going to be a little bit more precise because I really only want to darken up the inside of this cut. I don't want to darken anywhere else. So I'm going to be a little bit more careful with the black. And I'm putting it like really deep inside this cut, just to create like a really nice shadow inside of it. That way when I add the blood into it, it'll show really dark. Now I accidentally did this, but I think it looks good, so I am going to put a little bit of the black on the outer side of this. And it's, again, just for the sake of when I put blood on it, that it looks darker. The last thing I'm going to do is the blood. This is the Spirit of Halloween Bloody Scab. I'm going to use like an eyebrow or like a liner brush, just one that's like really angled and flat. I'm just going to really put this just on the edge because I want the blood to show, but I also want it to be kind of packed up in there. This is another one of those that like I'm not going to be too clean with it just because it's blood, so it's going to go everywhere if it was real. So I'm not going to be super precise about it. The only thing that I like it so far, and I think it looks really cool. Just think the only thing I'm struggling with is the latex. Like, it's just obviously there, and I don't understand how people hide it. I tried the different ways that the people tried, like the videos I looked up for it, and like none of those worked. Like, it's just very obvious. I tried to like use it to my advantage and make it look more like lifted skin, but it really just, you can tell what it is. I don't really understand how to hide it. That's the only thing I'm struggling with on this look, because like if I look specifically like right here, like this looks really good, but I don't really know what I did differently here than like what I did here. So I'm not really for sure how to fix it. So, or anybody out there that's watching this that likes special effects makeup and may know, comment down below. I would greatly appreciate it, because like I do want to get better at this, and I don't expect myself to be perfect at it like right from the beginning, but I would like to know how to fix it. So any advice would greatly be appreciated. So that is the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I put the final touches in, which is the contact and fixing my hair. I do like this look. The only thing that bothers me is hiding the latex and the tissue paper. I just don't understand it yet, but I'll keep practicing. Other than that, I think the look turned out like really cool. I really enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button so you can see more of my videos. It is my goal to hit 1,000 subscribers, so I would greatly appreciate it if you'd help me out. I like hearing y'all's feedback, so please comment down below with anything you'd like to tell me or any future videos you'd like to see. Until next time, bye.